Okay, so let's begin by coming to lay on our backs. So bringing yourself all the way down. And if you need to, take a rolled up blanket and put it under your knees. So just allowing the knees to bend slightly, just to take the pressure off. If it feels uncomfortable for the feet to come out to the sides, just let them come up towards the sky. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. So feeling into your body, pressing down onto the mat. Just noticing how you feel. Any strong emotions coming up. Any parts of the body that are taking your focus. So just feel into that. See if you can come to stillness. Come to the breath. So start to slow the breath down. Making the breath as slow as you can. Feeling it in the rib cage, let the tummy rise gently. And let's open the eyes. We're going to reach the arms up over the head. So reach the arms up, flex the feet. You can still keep the knees bent if that's more comfortable. Reaching as if you're in mountain pose, so reaching up. And let's take the feet and the hands over to the left, to the right side. Let's start with the right. So come into your banana shape. So reaching, finding that length in the left side of the body. Take a couple of breaths here. And let's come over to the left side. So walk the feet over to the left, the hands over to the left. Finding that length in the right side of the body this time. Let's take it back to center. Or hug the knees in. So you might want to take hold of the backs of the thighs if that feels too much to squeeze the knees. Let's take hands either side. Give myself a bit more space. And then take the knees over to the right side. So you might bring them down. You might just hover them. Just gently bringing them side to side. So gentle twist, just warming up the body. So gently coming side to side. Let's come back to center. We'll have a little rock and roll. So either rocking and rolling up and down your spine. You might, again, keep hold of the backs of the thighs. If it feels too much on the spine to rock and roll, then you can always roll onto your side and come up that way. So let's come up to seated. We're going to take feet flat to the floor. And we're going to take a seated version of cat-cow. So taking hold of the backs of the thighs again. We're going to inhale to come forward. So bring the chest forward. You're arching the back. Shoulder blades come towards each other. And then exhale to round the spine. So rolling through. Bring chin to chest. Holding the thighs, the backs of the thighs. Just allow you to round into the upper back. Let's come forward. Inhale. Exhale, curling, rounding through the upper back. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale to curl round. And then let's come all the way down. Reach the arms up overhead again. We're going to take a different version of our sun salutation. So flex the feet, reaching high. We're going to lift the legs up to the sky. So this is your downward facing dog. So your spine is straight on the floor. Your feet are pressing up to the sky. Your hands are pressing just gently up to the sky. So keeping the hands lifted, or if it feels better, let them come to the floor. So they're still active. You're reaching them away. Let's rock up. We're going to take an exhale and fold forward. So again, you might want to take a blanket under the knees. just to allow them to bend here and be supported. Just rolling forward. Let's inhale to halfway lift. So we're lengthening through the spine. Bring the hands to the shins. Exhale to fold forward. And then let's slide the feet slightly up. Bring the soles to the floor. We're going to open up. So as if we were coming into cobra. Opening up, lifting the chest. And then exhale to roll down, lifting the legs up to the sky. Come back to your version of downward facing dog. Let's do that again. So rolling up. Let's roll forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. As you lift, slide the feet up, take the soles to the floor, take the thighs and lift to open. Inhale. Exhale, rolling back. Lift the feet up. Downward facing dog. Let's do that once more. So rolling up. You can always support yourself to roll up if you need to. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Lifting up. Inhale, let's take feet flat to the floor. Take the thighs, opening up through the chest. And then exhale to roll down. Lift the feet up. Downward dog. So let's roll up. Either cross at the ankles, roll over the feet. If that's too much on the knees, you can always roll to the side. Let's take it to our downward facing dog. And we'll take a slightly different version without using the knees. So we're going to roll forward, come up onto the tiptoes, roll forward. And instead of bringing the knees, chest, chin down, we're going to gently bring the hips down. So it might just be that they lower slightly. Keep pressing into the hands. The shoulders are stacked over the wrists. You might take them quite low. You can always keep the knees slightly bent. Lifting up. And then exhale to take it back. So you can bend the knees. Lift up. Take it back to your downward facing dog. So let's step it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step it back to your down dog. And we're going to roll forward. So rolling forward. Take the hips down. So lifting the head, pressing into the hands. And then exhale to lift it back. Downward facing dog. Let's step it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand, lifting the toes up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take it back down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold forward. Let's cross at the ankles and we'll come to sitting. So taking it back to your seat. We're going to lift up here. So coming into our version of chair pose. So reaching high, pressing down into the feet. So you're lifting up. And then let's exhale to twist to the right. So left arm comes forward, right arm comes back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist to the left. Right arm forward, left arm back. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to twist. Keep pressing the feet into the floor. Inhale to rise. Exhale to twist. Let's come back to center. Let's take hands to heart center here. We're going to lengthen through the spine again. And this time exhale, left elbow to the right thigh. So you're just gently coming into that twist again. You can press hands together, just helping you to leave around slightly. So take a couple of deep breaths here. Keep pressing the feet down. Still getting that twist that we would in a lunge, but without the pressure on the knees. Let's come back to center. Let's take it over to the other side. So big inhale, exhale to twist. So really gently just bringing the knee onto the thigh, using the hands to help you lever around, but don't force anything, just feeling into it, breathing into it. Exhaling to twist, inhaling to lengthen. Let's come back to center. And let's take the legs into a straddle. So I'm going to turn to face you. So again here, you might take a blanket under the knees. You might take a block under your knee. So they don't have to be completely straight. So let's start to gently walk the fingertips forward. And just taking it at your own pace. Big deep breaths. It doesn't matter how far down you come, just feeling into that stretch. The stretch on the inner thighs, gentle stretch in the backs of the legs. And then let's walk the fingertips over to the right side. Maybe you come down a tiny bit further. It might be that you gently lift up if it feels too intense. Stay with the breath. Let's take it over to the other side. So gently walking with the fingertips over to the other side. Stay with that breath, slow, deep breaths. Let's come back to center. Let's bring the feet back together. And we're going to slowly roll down. So coming all the way down. We'll bring feet flat to the floor, feet at hip distance. And just check you can touch your heels with fingertips. And we'll just come into a gentle back bend. So we're going to lift the hips as we take the arms over the head. So notice how it feels on your knees. If it feels too intense, then come out of it. Maybe it can help you can help your knees if you lift your toes. Can't get my words out. Lift your toes up. And it will engage the shins and support your knees. So you're lifting the hips and then taking it down. So it might just be that you lift slightly lower, just keep the hips lower. Just feeling into the thighs. Take it down. One more time, lifting up. Exhale to take it down. And then let the knees just gently rock side to side. So when you're ready to, hug them in. You can take hold of the backs of the thighs instead of squeezing them together. Have a rock side to side. Just massage out your lower back. And then let's take an inversion. So bring feet to the floor and take the hands under the hips. So you might want to stay here with your legs lifted, keeping your knees gently bent. So you could make fists with the hands, or you can take your legs up the wall. So try and bring your hips as close as you can to the wall and just allow yourself to relax here. So if you want something much more restorative, stay with this one. Or if you do want to come to shoulder stand, then taking the hands back under the hips, we're going to lift the feet, press into the hands and bringing the feet over the head. So when the hips lift, take hands to the lower back. And then when you're ready to, start to lift the toes. So you want to be walking your elbows in towards each other before you lift the toes up. So taking feet up to the sky, just checking in that the weight's in the elbows, in the upper arms, rather than in your neck. And then take any leg variations you want to. Keep breathing, stay with that breath. So you might take straddles, splits, anything goes here, maybe circling the ankles. And then let's take the feet back over the head and let's gently release down. So it might be that you keep supporting your hips, you take your hands to the floor, gently bringing yourself down. Maybe with straight legs to work your core, or maybe bend the knees, take the feet to the floor, and then let's hug in. And again, you might take hold of the backs of the thighs rather than squeezing the knees together. So have a gentle rock side to side. And then let's come into a happy baby. So taking hold of the outsides of the feet, arms come inside the knees. We're just gently pulling the feet towards us, but pushing the feet up to the sky. So engaging those muscles in the legs to support the joints. So flex the feet. Any pain in the knees, come out of the pose. Just gently bring the feet closer together. So take a couple of deep breaths. You might have a gentle rock side to side. And then let's bring the knees back in together. We'll take one last twist. So let's take the arms out to the side. Bring them over to the right side. So palms face down. Maybe you look to that left hand. Take a big deep breath. Let's come back to center. Take the knees over to the left side. We'll be looking to your right hand. Take a big deep breath here. Inhale back to center. Give the knees one last squeeze. And then let's release down into Shavasana. So again, maybe taking that blanket underneath the knees. Just to give your knees some support. Just take one last big deep breath. Exhaling out. Just allow your body to sink into the floor. So just allowing the earth to support you here. Give yourself some time to absorb the practice, to release and relax. So come back to a natural breath, closing the eyes. Just allow your body to be heavy. So gently start to wiggle fingers and toes. Let your head rock from side to side. And then bringing knees into the chest. Let's roll over onto your favorite side. Just take a moment here. And when you're ready to, coming up to a comfortable seated position. And that might be with legs crossed. That might be bringing feet back to the floor again. Bring hands to heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Taking Palm knuckles to forehead center. Namaste.